Hello everyone, my name is Michał and welcome to High Talks. In today's episode, with Szymon Włochowicz, COO Hicron, and Piotr Baradziej, head of Hicron Software House, we will discuss challenges of modern IT industry and its clients. It is estimated that by 2029, the demand for software development services will rise by 22%. Yet in the media, the coverage is still about crisis in the IT industry. Where this duality comes from, how does the situation look right now, and how do you see the future?
Well, that's a very interesting question. I think there is actually no discrepancy between those two states because, first of all, we are living in the times that the digitalization of economy, digitalization of companies, it's still ongoing. So the demand for IT services, for new technologies, for new solutions that would enable the enterprises to work in a more digital, more efficient way will grow. And the digitalization, this is the revolution that cannot be stopped. So the estimation that the demand for IT services will be growing, it's perfectly valid and it will happen. On the other side, we need to look at the broader economy and what is going on in the world global economy. In the past few years, there were several events that have caused a lot of disturbance in the global economy. First of all, the COVID epidemic, then the war in Ukraine. And right now we are in a very unstable economic times. And looking at the macroeconomic terms at global economy, there are many indications that the economy is slowing down, that there is the growth that we were used to for the past years is not happening right now. So it should be no surprise that also in the IT industry, the growth that we are so much used to, especially during pandemic, is not happening right now. So I would not be talking about the crisis. I would be talking that the IT industry is the part of global economy that currently is undergoing times of great uncertainty. And the IT industry has stopped growing by the insane numbers that it was growing before. Yes, of course, there are a lot of information about the companies that are slowing down. Some of them are also laying off people. There is a huge debate in the US about big tech companies. However, what is often omitted in those information is that the comparison of the current state of, for example, employment of those companies with the state before the pandemic. Because if you compare it, you would see that what is going on currently, it's only, I would even call it a minor change compared to this huge growth that was in the pandemic times. Of course, we need to be very aware of the global situation and we need to look for the risks, and it's not like nothing at all is happening. But as I say, both of the statements that you mentioned are correct. The demand is growing, but the development of IT services, IT companies is not as fast, as humongous as it was, as we were used to, especially during the last 2 years.
And to add to that, so there is this COVID situation that Szymon mentioned, and he mentioned at the beginning that the COVID pandemic contributed to the fact that the number of services and the business requirements decreased. But in the same time, a few sentences later, he mentioned that pandemic contributed to growth of IT services. And this is interesting fact because at the very beginning, for first 6 months, businesses across the globe were panicking because they were simply not sure what to do and how this pandemic will impact their money and cash flow and revenue flows. But after 6 months, just after 6 months, they were able to adapt. So they adapted rapidly and the demand went back or even went higher on the ranks. So I think this is the same. So I perceive that as a temporary hiccup in the market. And in a few months or maybe half a year, I expect this would go back to normal or even increase.
So both of you mentioned that we live in very uncertain times, and what in those times of uncertainty clients expect from you, from IT companies?
Well, there is one very obvious answer. The very obvious answer is that if the times are a bit troubling and if there is uncertainty in the economy, the customers expect flexibility. And the response to uncertainty is flexibility. So if we are not certain about what will be going on in the next few weeks, few months, few years, then we need to be more flexible in order to adapt, and the customers come to us and say, yes, please, dear Hicron, be more flexible. We need to adapt to the current economic situation. However, this flexibility has also a second, more darker side, because exactly because of those things that we mentioned previously, of what is going on in the global economy and about the general economic situation. Each and every flexibility that is added is actually imposing risks, but this time not on our customers, but on us.
Correct. That is really something that we as a leaders and managers, senior managers, should look after. So we need to think of how we can improve our strategic planning or adapt our strategic planning to resourcing, and be able to even more precisely forecast and orchestrate our bench management and the policy of recruiting people from the market and from where we are recruiting people from the market. So this is exactly fortunately, unfortunately, it's really hard to say whether this is bad or good. This is the fact that we need to accept, and the flexibility comes with a great risk that companies that delivering services need to accept and adapt to circumstances. I would add to flexibility maybe one or two more things. So I think the saying in English that no news is a good news has changed in IT. That was the expectation 10, maybe 15 years back. And now customers expect being in touch, being in contact, not only for bad. Of course, there is a demand and the expectations to manage bad situation is high. However, they also expect to be in touch for good. So they to see the human being on the other hand, on the other side of the phone or anywhere, and be able to simply to build the relation from the scratch and to show that we do really matter and we do really care about his business, but also about him, and simply be in touch. So I think that is the second that I would like to highlight here.
I would add on top of it the third one. Again, being in uncertain times, not knowing exactly what the future will come, trying to be prepared for the future. For our customers means that they require from us professionalism, because we need to be professional. We need to come to the customers with knowledge and experience that would allow us in collaboration with the customer to very quickly achieve the required results. So there is a need and a huge focus on our side to bring this professionalism to the table whenever we talk with our customers, whenever we engage in new activities, not to focus that at the end result shall be the business benefit for our customers, and our role is to use our knowledge, skills, experience to enable our customers to reach those business goals.
And I think in that aspect, you need to have courage as a vendor, as a service delivery partner, to be able to tell that this is not a good direction for a client. So to be able to challenge client and not to say yes for everything, but also to say no to when we think that the direction he is willing to go, he has chosen, is simply not the right direction for his business. We do value his perspective, and we understand that he has the best knowledge about his business, but we, from tech perspective, we are the advisors, and we are professionals that probably know a bit better than client about the situation and stuff.
So you've mentioned the pillars that are the essence of a successful cooperation with the client. And what are those flexible options you're talking about when it comes to the cooperation?
You mean how we are implementing the flexibility?
Yes.
That actually very much differs from the customer situation to the customer situation. But basically, what we are seeing right now is that the general trend is that the customers want and actually need to see the business results earlier than previously. So the projects are becoming shorter and shorter, and the demand for the concrete result of the project that would actually achieve the business goals, this point in time should be as close to the starting date of the project as possible. And in order to achieve that, we can implement a lot of means. First of all, we can of course use the professionalism that I have mentioned. Then we can use the special processes of project management, of product management. We can, as Piotr was mentioning, you can advise the customer what is the best way to achieve those business goals. We can of course bring the best possible people, because actually we are the company that whose the main asset are the people that we have. We can bring the best people to the table and to address those needs of the customers. So I would say we respond to this need by providing the way to achieve the business goals faster.
And I think that I might have mentioned that already, flexibility for bench management. So the fact that the planning from the marketing and lead generation campaigns need to be strictly connected with sales team, need to be strictly connected with delivery in order to estimate and forecast based on probability on how probable is for the lead to converse, and based on that to assess and recruit that many people, to hire that many people that will be appropriate percentage-wise to hire to deliver value for clients on time or with short delay. And I think that this is the other aspect that we might cover, this flexibility that for clients is now very crucial.
Hicron is a SAP partner. Hicron Software House is about software development. How can you two working together answer those clients, answer those challenges that clients are facing? Do you have any ongoing projects together?
I think looking at Hicron as a digital transformation partner, we solve problems for our clients. And technology is kicking in at the very last steps of our vision architect process. So we are architecting solution, listening client carefully, identifying all the gaps that he might have, identifying all the pains and gains that he might get from the cooperation with us. Based on that, we are trying to optimize the best possible solution, which is not necessarily a software, an application at the very end. But if it turns out to be the software, then we are taking the most appropriate item to simply to bring value for our client. And I think this is not about the technology. Of course, we are a technological company, but this is about understanding, listening, and bringing the value and solving problems for clients. And whether this is an SAP or whether this is the bespoke software development, whatever is better for clients, we simply choose that solution.
Yeah, I mean, Hicron as a company has like two main service lines, business lines. This is the SAP and the digital part of the company. And as Piotr mentioned, when we come to the customer, when we talk with the customer, we look at what can be achieved, and the technology is like the last thing to be chosen. I mean, first of all, we need to talk with the customer about the challenges, we need to talk about the results, and then decide on how we will achieve those. However, being the company that under one roof has two service lines means that we can actually use the experiences and use the knowledge of the, let's say, other part to provide the customer with the best possible solution. I can give you the example from a few years back. Currently, SAP has produced a very nice user interfaces for the products, but there were times not so far ago that the user interface for SAP was, let's say, less than perfect. And at that time, we were using very often the knowledge of the digital part of the company to produce a customized user interfaces for SAP that sometimes even the most proficient users of SAP have not recognized as SAP, because they were made using the most, at the time, the newest, most advanced UI technology, and we were able to combine that. So we were able to take the technological knowledge of the digital part of the company and integrate with the SAP. The other way around, many like technological software companies on the market, they focus very much on technology. SAP and ERP systems, they require the knowledge of business processes. So we are able to take the deep knowledge, deep understanding of the business processes that we have in the ERP business line of our company, and to talk with the customers that are interested in the digital world, using or showing the profound understanding of how their business work, what are the business processes, what are the steps, what are the master data behind those processes, and so on. So we can combine both of those two parts of the companies to provide the best possible service to our customers.
Yeah, so exactly, I think same. So combination of two, SAP and the digital world, is something that gives us an advantage in the market, and gives us an advantage because of the fact that you might implement SAP for many different clients' problems and to solve clients' problems. However, the demand is growing, the number of different businesses and verticals is growing so rapidly that there will be areas and digital areas that SAP is not able to cover. And this is where a software house kicks in, and we are bringing solution for clients.
I'm happy to have this talk with you, and I really hope that those troubled times will pass and we will have another years of prosperity and peace. So it is the key, as you said, to work together and to be flexible, right?
Yes.
So thank you for your time and see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.